Well, this is one way to go about it, and by it, I mean trying to beat Khorne Infantry. Yeah, the addition of Khorne Gores has definitely made, I feel like the Khorne matchup and Beastman matchup definitely tougher for Bretonnia, as well as nerfs in later patches of the 5.x patches. And they're in a little bit of a tough spot right now, I feel like, in some matchups. But this wild Bretonian player, I have to say, rank 9 Infantry as the answer, and these men-at-arms with their Grail Relic support are rocking 40 attack and 43 defense with 72 leadership and immune psychology. That's a pretty beefy stat line for a low-tier infantry, I have to say. We've got more men-at-arms shields here, rank 9, of course. We even got some men-at-arms polearms, rank 9 here. Again, 50 melee defense on them. Even without the Grail Relic, their melee defense is, yeah, melee defense is good. Attack's not amazing, but rank 9 foot squires as well is also a thing you can do. We have some pox arrows. Yeah, Lewin up in the sky, and then Damsel of Life, looking for some Life Bloom procs from Earthblood, and also Dwellers for some AoE damage. As for Khorne, we're looking at Skarbrand, both the player and the exiled character in-game here, as the Lord Skarbloodwrath accompanying him. Khorne Gores, 4 of them, and the Slaughter Guard, chosen with the Khorne Halberds. Definitely very cool. Marauder Horsemen, mixed in with some Furies around the flanks. One Fury fleeing from a Royal Pegasus Knight that was there as well. So, yeah. Bretonnia got all this rank 9 infantry, the one Royal Pegasus Knight, the one Archer, which is definitely at risk of getting immediately charged down by Furies here, but let's see as the game plays out. Khorne's going to take us around here. Bretonnia kind of shores up their defenses, getting some units ready to receive, perhaps. A couple of throwing axes hit. Lewin actually does make a little charge here, somewhat dangerous. He can take some damage here, although Lion's Shield will protect him from a lot of that damage if he's got it active. The Furies do fly in, take out the pox arrows. Yeah, might as well have not even taken them. But one thing I found super interesting, Skarbrand's going to charge straight through the front line and immediately try and snipe this Grail Relic. I mean, super smart play, first of all, to get rid of the immune psychology so that Skarbrand's terror can actually be effective. But likewise, the melee attack buffs as well. I mean, these men-at-arms, like I said, 40 melee attack, 43 melee defense. They're going to trade extremely efficiently against the Khorne Gores. Yeah, even the peasant mobs got ranks. Again, but do they actually need them? Hard to say. But yeah, the archers get absolutely destroyed there before the Royal Pegasus Knights can come help. Damsel does get rage embodied there, and Skarbrand's going to move through after successfully sniping the Grail Relic and try and snipe the caster here. Will he be as successful at doing so? Looks like some of his attacks getting distracted onto other units. Pegasus Knights get up in the air. Lewin extricates himself from his Marauder Horseman misadventures. And looks like they're going to drop down onto Skarbrand here. Probably pop that Sword of Khorne. Yep. He doesn't have his Rampage active, so he can't lock these units into combat necessarily. But going to take a couple of hits. Also do some hits in return to King Lewin, who did pop Stand Your Ground. Fortunately, the Pegasus Knight charge pathing just kind of whiffs there. But the infantry fight's just going to go decisively in Bretonnia's favor, to be honest. Even the Slaughter Guard are going to struggle to get through all of this. And like the Foot Squires having their anti-infantry AP, what is that, like 30 attack with an extra 12 bonus versus infantry? Not going to have a great hit chance against the Slaughter Guard even still. But with enough numbers, maybe they can get the job done. That being said, Lewin not getting the job done against Skarbrand, taking a few hits, but also not anything that's too bad yet. Can definitely heal through most of this damage. But Foe Seeker to help him get away, refresh his vigor a little bit there. Pegasus Knights again going to try and charge in, see if they can get... oh yeah, Sword of Khorne being dropped here. The Foot Squires are going to mostly, not totally move out of the area of effect. Still took a good chunk of damage there. Maybe did some to the Royal Pegasus Knights as well. Those halberds, not the best Sword of Khorne I've ever seen, but definitely not the worst. Throwing axes getting in range to throw their axes specifically at the Royal Pegasus Knights here, which is definitely a good call. Try and get some of their unit models down, or maybe they're throwing at Lewin. Either way, both targets basically in the same spot. Rage Embodied is procced there, and Lewin and the Pegasus Knights going to charge on in together. Is quite effective. And look at the Slaughter Guard also taking some damage from these, Sword of Khorne debuffing their melee defense. Allows the Foot Squires to actually get some more hits in, taking some damage there. Oof, big bloody hit from Skarbrand, though. Khorne is most pleased by the blood being spilled today, regardless of the outcome. But right now, it's definitely looking like it could go either way. Bretonnia is taking some pretty big damage on some key units here. Pegasus Knights do eat a little heal there as they get routed off. Lewin also trying to pull away. Benefits from that Earthblood, as do the infantry units as well, of course. But yeah, you can see how the men-at-arms will just beat the Khorne, and it's going to be a slog. You know, it's definitely not an easy engagement for them, but let's just take a minute to appreciate these low-tier units brawling against each other. And the lowly men-at-arms, veterans of many campaigns, I guess, able to fight the foul Khorne despite their impressive fell strength. Lewin also charging, trying to support with those Pegasus Knights, take out whatever he can. The Marauder Horsemen are a really nice support tool here. That being said, they are kind of away from infantry support, at least temporarily, which is going to afford Skarbrand an opportunity to charge in here and maybe get a few attacks on Lewin. Some foot squires filter through. Not the best unit to help with this engagement, but their bodies at the very least. And yeah, 2 or maybe 1 Marauder Horseman gets routed off. The Pegasus also gets finished there, which is a pretty big blow for Bretonnia. Likewise, some of their rank 9 infantry starting to get a little bit low. That leadership is good, but without the Grail Relic, they are going to be vulnerable to getting terror routed. Like on this rear charge here from Skarbrand, will it be enough? Slaughter Guard's unbreakable. Relentless Rage actually activates, yeah, the army ability, so none of them can die, and they become unbreakable. Try and hold this final engagement here. Skarbrand popping his Rampage, Sword of Khorne. Marauder Horseman charge in. Yeah, it's going to be all the marbles, so we'll keep the health bars up. Watch as these duels play out. Lots of effects happening. Lewin manages to mostly pull away from Skarbrand there. It actually terrifies away the Slaughter Guard as soon as that Relentless Rage drops, unsurprisingly, and then he himself is going to fly away, get out of dodge, and see what engagement he can take next. Marauder Horseman fighting some men-at-arms on the objective there. That charge bonus and anti-infantry means they do cut through men-at-arms pretty well. Lewin also takes another engagement, trying to finish off Skarbrand here. I really think probably he should, well, I don't know. If he can finish Skarbrand here, that'll be a huge boon. Scar Bloodwrath is going to be an incredibly tough one to take out as well. Tries to get away here, but a nice charge from the Marauder Horseman. Very well timed. Means that Skarbrand can get in. Lewin actually gets a critical turnaround and countercharge, though, and might actually finish Skarbrand here. Oof. Big hit there. You can see demonic instability take hold, and Skarbrand drops. King Lewin standing in his saddle, taunting. Immediately, the Marauder Horsemen are going to terror rout, as will almost everything else. And at this point, Lewin's so low on HP, I would think he'd want to just stay in the air and try and replenish before he tries to fight Skar. Because if Skar manages to kill him, then it's all over for Bretonnia. So, yeah, we'll fast forward a little bit as, again, I think the Bretonnian player is definitely making a mistake here in just forcing this engagement. Why not fly Lewin around, you know, hit these tattered Marauder Horsemen, and in the meantime, you're replenishing HP. You don't necessarily have to fight Skar with everything, right? You could just leave one of these units in, stand the others here for some rest, or else maybe try and take out the Slaughter Guard, right? But in general, try and avoid engaging Lewin against Skar for the time being. Like, yes, you want to engage him with infantry support if possible, but you also want Lewin to replenish as much HP as possible. Here, he does charge in with Sword of Khorne active, gets a couple of key hits. Will it be enough to take out Skar Bloodwrath? Skar actually gets his self-healing, though, at a devastating moment, and that's the dagger. Exactly why I was saying take out the Marauder Horseman first, let Lewin regenerate some HP. He's still got some healing cap space left, but unfortunately tries to take that engagement a little bit too early with that infantry support. And yeah, it's going to be victory for Khorne. I have to say, though, I'm very impressed with that Bretonnian build. Rank 9, almost everything pays for itself. I mean, yeah, almost 2,000 damage value on foot squires is absolutely insane. Yeah, like 700 value on men-at-arms, definitely very good as well. Some of them, you know, like 400 or so. We'll check the value. I think they cost around 500 if I'm not mistaken. So that's actually pretty good just across the board there. Lewin himself getting like 20,000 or 2,000 value rather. Yeah, pretty decent, honestly. Just I think that a couple of critical engagements ended up kind of swinging things in Skarbrand's favor, but credit to Skarbrand for playing it well, keeping you know, his namesake alive long enough for Skar and him to pay for themselves. Yeah, the Khorne kind of got beat down a little bit here, but the Slaughter Guard were able to return some value despite facing some pretty overwhelming odds. Marauder Horsemen are also super key here. That anti-infantry and charge bonus helps them kind of cut through the lighter, even the rank 9, you know, that melee defense helps, but still not enough to help against the high charge and the anti-infantry and everything else, high weapon damage. Marauder Horsemen are just able to kind of feast here in terms of value, so interesting all the way around. Yeah, let's kind of look. I'm just curious in terms of rank 9 values for Bretonnia. Let's see here. So a Men-at-Arms with shields, rank 9, coming in a little under 500, like I said. So that's actually very cost-effective for them. The halberds are pretty expensive. 671's not crazy. I mean, I guess that's pretty comparable to a Khorne, right? Yeah, a little bit cheaper than a Khorne, actually. So that's not terrible. The Khorne have a lot more going for them, mainly way more HP, but the rank 9 stats are pretty impressive, it must be said, especially with the Grail Relic to help support them, although, as you saw there, definitely very vulnerable to just getting hard sniped by Khorne. Likewise, the archers you can't really protect, so just trade them out for some yeomen and cut some of the XP chevrons for the peasant mobs if you need to. I honestly don't think the peasant mobs need any XP chevrons. I think they're largely wasted there. That being said, these two definitely. The foot squires also, rank 9 does put them over 1,000, which is quite a bit to pay, especially considering you think about other, like, anti-infantry units. Not even the good ones, right? But, like, trying to think. I don't know. Even, like, Empire Greatswords are also not that good, right? But, anyway, the point being that they're not incredible for the price. Think about something like, yeah, I mean, they're basically encroaching on, like, High Elves. Which, I mean, granted, maybe not quite. They're still a few hundred points off of Swordmasters, but still kind of like mini Swordmasters, I guess. Actually, not as far off in terms of stats as I would have thought. That is before Martial Mastery, of course. But yeah, honestly, again, maybe a few of these guys is something to be looked at. I do think, you know, if you're going that route, you might as well include some regiments of renown. The Holy Wardens, with their magic damage, actually can trade well if they bring any demonic units. They're immune to contact effects as well, and just, you know, frenzy and high weapon damage. They're a solid unit against Khorne, I would say. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, though. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button every time I upload a new video. You'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.